Perfect.
Welcome to the AutoLust YouTube channel. And usually I wouldn't be sitting in front of a green screen right now. I would be outside tinkering on my soon-to-be world record 1200 horsepower BMW X6M. But today it's something more dire, serious that we need to talk about. I mean, paramount, and hopefully you will learn something from these 10 reasons and explanations. So number one, first and foremost, knowing your end goal is no reason for you to buy performance parts, talk to any tuners, talk to your buddy in secret about the power you want to make. Is no reason to do any of that until you know yourself in your head and in your heart your end goal for your car. You might want to make a little bit of power now and a lot of power later on. But what is your true end goal? What you want to do now isn't what you're going to do later on. And you can waste a lot of money in between. So know your end goal. Know what your end goal is. It doesn't matter if you're poor and broke right now. Have your end goal already set in stone. You will save a lot of money like that. If you know you want to make 1,000 wheel horsepower sometime in your life with your car, keep that as your end goal. Your end goal, and that's number one. A lot of people don't do that, and they end up wasting a lot of money because they buy parts that they can't use when they're going up in bigger power, and they can't sell because nobody wants these rinky-dink parts that you cheaped out on, or you just wanted to get into the feeling of a BMW before you spent more money. If you got it like that, by all means, waste your money. But I'm trying to give you guys ways where you don't have to do what I did, coming into this thing. So that's number one. Know your end goal, number one. Let's get to number two. All right, number two, cheap parts. When it's time to buy parts, I mean, it's cool going with the VRSF or VSRF or whatever it's called. That's good bang for your buck. But these AliExpress, eBay knockoffs, Temu knockoffs, none of that stuff is gonna get you where you need to go, because the quality is crap, the materials are crap. It might look the same. I tell people this all the time. Just because it looks the same doesn't mean it's the same, at all. What looks good is not always good. Never judge a book by its cover. I'm not telling you to go out there and spend $1 million on your F90 or your M5 or your M3 or your F10 or whatever chassis BMW M car or non-M car you have. But, be wise when you go and spend your parts, when you go and spend money on your parts. Usually if the deal is too good to be true, then it's too good to be true. It usually is. It's not true. So that's number two. Cheap parts. Stay away from them. Stay away from them. You guys making us look bad out there at the car shows. You popping your hood and you got Temu charge pipes. Okay, next. Number three, where is it? This is one of the most important things you could do to any BMW. If your BMW is not stock and you got boatloads of power coming out of it, man, you got it pushed to the limit. A lot of you guys already tuned with no headroom. I'm talking to you guys that say, oh, please give me 5 more horsepower more than this guy. I mean, you begging for your engine to blow up, and then you blame the tuner or you blame the parts. No, blame yourself, because you beg for that headache. And the number three is reliability mods. If you're gonna waste time and money putting power mods into your car, make sure you do reliability mods, cooling mods, airflow mods. Get rid of as many hard 90-degree turns on your air, fuel, or any other type of system. Reliability mods will help that engine have more power. And how will reliability mods help your engine have more power? By making the computer not retard timing and pull timing when everything is overheating. Most BMWs go through overheat cycles. The thermostat is set so high up in temperatures that about time this thermostat opens, the car is already in an overheat cycle. So it goes from overheat to cool down, overheat to cool down. And that's why a lot of people say BMW BMWs don't have reliability and don't last long, because it's the owner's fault for not, keeping up with the car. When you add power, you want to add reliability also. You want to make sure those two scales match. If they don't match, you're begging for problems. I don't care what year you got, what chassis, E, F, G, your chassis is gonna have reliability mods. So that's number 3. Number 4, this is another extreme thing that I see guys do all the time. Taking a tuner's word for law. No tuner word is law. I don't care who your tuner is, how much power he made, how much power he gave Jake, how much power he gave Sarah. His word doesn't mean diddly squat. Do your own research. Stop taking tuners' word for law. Not saying all tuners are the same, but most tuners just want the payday. That's what they in it for. True enough, they got their babies and their certain customers that spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on their cars, and they don't mind getting revision after revision, and getting boost done in every gear and getting long thought out tunes. Tunes are not created equal. You can believe that. Your tune gonna go by how much money you're willing to spend on it. Because if you get a regular tune, that you're gonna get max boost in whatever gear you can get it in, and that's what it is. But a real tune is gonna make sure that boost and that torque curve and that air-fuel ratio is the perfect amount in each gear that car shifts through. That's a good real tune. And most tunes aren't like that. And it's a lot of other stuff that goes into a real deal tune, not an OTS tune. Most of these custom tunes these days are just OTS tunes with a little bit of salt sprinkled on top from whatever guy who's doing it. It's not a real custom tune made for your car and the parts that you put on it. So stop taking tuners' words for law. Do your own research about some stuff, because you never know what you might be missing out on, All right, number 5. Do not follow BMW and dealer maintenance schedules. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I hear guys all the time complaining about my car is drinking oil. The oil, the spark plug's not lasting long. This isn't this. This isn't that. You know why? Because you're following what BMW said to do for a 300 horsepower car. Now you have a triple that horsepower. Let's say you got 1,000 horsepower car now, and you still doing your oil changes every 10,000 miles, and you still doing you waiting every 80,000 miles to do your tune-up. The car riding around misfiring, and you wondering what happened. If you're gonna tune your car, you cannot follow the dealer and manufacturer maintenance schedules. Everything has to be done higher. Everything has, not higher as in higher mileage, higher as in, more priority. The spark plugs and coils have to be changed earlier, because on a tuned car, they go bad extremely fast. They don't last 80,000 miles. They last from 10 to 16,000 miles. You might get 20, 25,000 miles out of a set of plugs and coils on an extremely tuned car, but I highly doubt it. With your oil change, people ask me all the time, what do I put in my car? I say I put 5W40 in my car. Oh, but the dealer says, oh, but the oil cap says. Did the oil cap also tell you to put that charge pipe and that upgraded turbo on your car? Hell no. So why do you want to revert back to what the oil cap say and what the dealer say then? It makes no sense. Come on, guy. I know you was born with more common sense than that. If you're going to push your car to the limit, make sure that the oil that's in that car can handle push to the limit power. 9 times out of 10, when you do a 5W30 and you out there busting your ass on the racetrack, that 30 weight is going to drop down to probably 20 weight. When those heat cycles go up so high, I never had a problem putting 5W40. 5W40 was the best thing I ever put in any one of my BMWs. It literally stopped oil consumption in its tracks. Literally. Even before I did the bulletproof valve stem seals. And it made the car run a lot smoother. So, it's up to you. I'm not telling you guys what to do to your car. You do whatever you want to do. It's your car. I mean, you've been making it this far, right? You've been pulling world records this far, right? I mean, all of this stuff is common sense, common knowledge. But anyways, let's get to the next one. Number 6, following tuner hype trains. Here we are back with the tuners. It's a lot of you guys out there following the tuner hype trains. Oh, this guy got the most power. Oh, HCP just did this. Oh, ABP or ABT, whatever, just did this. Oh, UMP just did this. Oh, A2 Performance just did this. Stop following tuner hype trains, because 9 times out of 10, you don't have the same mods that this car that just got all these boatloads of power has. You know, I just told you guys back at, what was it? Number 4, stop taking tuners' word for law. And tuners have their own special people who they deal with. You know, now at number 6, the tuner hype train, now you understand what I'm saying. You know, let's say I was a tuner's pet, and not really saying a tuner's pet, but if I'm a real BMW enthusiast that want to push my car to the limit, not one of these old BMW purists that says, hey, why did you put a bigger rim on your car? It's supposed to come with 18. Don't put a 20 on it. You know, I don't have no type of gab for those guys. You know, don't talk to me. If you don't care about raw balls out power, don't talk to me. You know, so these tuners have their own guys that they love dealing with, because these guys don't mind doing the right things to their car. It's not that your tuner doesn't like you. Believe me, it's not that your tuner doesn't like you. You know, your tuner likes him better because he spends money on his car. He's going to do the fuel pumps, the low pressure, the high pressure, the injectors. He's going to do the fuel lines. He's going to do everything. He's going to do the turbo modifications. He's going to go with the big turbos. Those tuners want they name, those tuners, these tuners, those tuners, however you want to say it, want their name attached to something powerful. You know, they want to spend their time working on something powerful. You know, when companies release a product, they want it to be good. They want to work with materials that make sure that product can perform. And that's how tuners are. If you got 2 different guys, one guy who lollygags and cut corners, and you got another guy who doesn't mind spending the money on the right mods to make the power, who you think that tuner is going to drift more towards to put his name on that windshield, or to post this guy's car on his website or on his Instagram page? He's going to choose the guy who's actually doing stuff to the car. You know? And that's why guys follow those tuner hype trains, because you think that just because you go with this guy who just made 2,000 wheel horsepower, figuratively speaking, that I'm going to go with this guy. I'm going to go with this tuner. Yeah, but what you don't understand is this car just made 2,000 wheel horsepower because he has 2,000 wheel horsepower mods done to his car. That's why he made that power. You know? You with your regular, bolt tones here and there, you might do a couple of custom mods. Almost any tuner can get you the same power. You know, you don't have to go to this tuner because he got this guy 2,000 wheel horsepower with those 2,000, wheel horsepower mods on it. You know, you wasting your time being following the tuner hype train. If you don't have those mods, bro, go with a tuner who's known for being reliable. You know, stop being a D-rider. You know, you guys, if you know what a D-rider is, you know what one is. I can't say it on YouTube, but stop being that. That's not cool. Stop following the hype train, because next week it's another tuner that's going to make more power out of this platform than that one. What you going to do then? Say you don't want that tune anymore? You want to get it retuned by this guy? I mean, you wasting money. All right, next. Number 7, bad shops. I've been through this myself. It's a bunch of shops. I mean, as you guys can see, with Hellraiser Performance, I gave those guys over $6K, and the transmission didn't even last a year, and I never got my money back. And it would have cost me over $6K to fight to get the $6K back. So in situations like that, you just gotta bite the bullet. Do your research. Do your research. Before you drop your car in any of these shops, do your research about this shop. Do your research about this engine builder. Everybody not created equal. Just because he's nice and he smile in your face and he call you his friend and he say he's going to take care of you, that doesn't mean that, man. Because when the shit hit the fan, you got to be the one to smell it. So you got to be extremely careful with what shop you take your car to. a lot of the big shops, sorry to say, but they don't care about the customer. You know, they already beyond caring about the customer, just like the bank. I'd rather a community credit union or something like that before I go with one of the big name bank brands, because they don't care about you. You only as important as your dollar's worth. Just like with the tuna hype train. You only as important as the money and the mods you put in the car for him to make the power, for him to look good as a tuner. You know, not all tuners are like that, but most of them are. You know, but anyways, be careful with the shop you choose. I have a friend that's going through it right now with his car. He done been through one head, 2 different engine blocks, and all type of crazy stuff, you know. And I'm not calling those shop names out unless they screwed me over, or they messed me over directly, you know. And I tried to do the right thing, and they still didn't do what they supposed to do, you know. But I'm not calling those shop names out. But it's a bunch of fugazi, sour shops out there, and they should be ashamed of themselves. And you know who I'm talking about. You guys know who I'm talking about, you know. And then say something about it. Simple as that. You know, that's just how pissed that makes me, seeing people get treated like that after they spent their hard-earned money, man. Watch what shops you deal with. Believe me. Next, that was number 7, bad shops. Number 8, monkey see, monkey do. Here we go again. And what I mean monkey see, monkey do is this guy bought Silly Rabbit turbos, now you want Silly Rabbit turbos. This guy got a Hellraiser transmission, now you want a Hellraiser transmission. This guy got this guy got that, now you want to do what these guys are doing because this guy is making power. You know, unless you following this guy's complete mod list to the T, your car is not finna do what this guy's car is doing. It's not. Unless, and even if you do everything completely the same, have the same guy build the same engine and everything like that, 9 times out of 10, your car is still gonna make different power. It's still gonna make different power. You can have the same car, same mileage, same mod, same engine builder, same tuner, same tune, and the cars will make 2 different power levels, guaranteed. Because that's just the way engines work, you know. It's something maybe in your engine, maybe electrical, maybe you had maybe you got a something weak from the factory in the engine. Maybe you're not building the right amount of vacuum, you know. Who knows? But stop doing monkey see, monkey do. Do your research and do what's best for you and your beast. Love your car. If you're gonna put a lot of money in that car, love and care for your car. Treat your car like you would treat somebody you care about. You know, I'm not finna throw any parts on my car that I didn't do research on just because I see somebody else making power with it. Because 9 times out of 10, 1 part doesn't, well, 10 times out of 10, 1 part doesn't make power. You can't buy a stage 2 fuel pump that says it's good for 1,300 wheel horsepower and you throw that on your car and you think you're finna make 1,300 wheel horsepower. Hell no. You need all complete supporting mods to make that pump make 1,300 wheel horsepower. Simple as that. So you doing monkey see, monkey do off of somebody else, you begging for problems. So let's not do that. Number 9, here we go. One of the most important ones, do your research. I can't explain this any other way than take your time. Take your time, kings. We build some old powerful stuff that knock doors off. You know, and if you're gonna be doing that, take your time and do your research, you know, because if you watch this channel, you can see that thousands of dollars have been wasted, you know. So I'm not talking with a grain of salt. I'm talking from experience on each one of these things I'm telling you. Take your time and do your research. I take months and weeks, and you know, sometimes I've researched for over a year on certain things, depending on how much it costs, before I spent my money on it. Kings and queens, BMW kings and queens, do your research, man. And number 10, and you know, this the last one, but this is the most important. Out of all these things on the list, this is the most important, guaranteed. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. If the world is going to end tomorrow, that's the way the Lord wanted it. You know, to God be the glory. It is what it is. You didn't finish your project. Oh well. You know, take your time. Nobody's in a rush. I guarantee you, nobody's at home thinking about you saying, oh, John Doe, when is he going to be done with that car? Jane Doe, when is she going to be done with that car? I'm waiting to see it. Nobody's at home thinking about you. Your car is not on anybody's mind at all. Take your time. Do it the right way. Make sure when your car is done that it shines like a star. That's what you want. You want reliability. You know, you don't want it done fast. You want it done right. Take your time. Don't let anybody rush you. It's going to be a car show every year. Every car show that you ever been to, I'm sure is annual. You know, every event that you ever been to, I'm almost positive it's annual, meaning they do it every year. There's no reason to rush. If you can't make this one, make the next one. Nobody will rush me with my car because they're not paying for it. You know, thank you guys that do support the Patreon. Patreon link down in the description. I really appreciate you. You know, and those guys don't rush. You know, because they know this stuff is extremely expensive. You know, YouTube don't pay me no money. Most of this comes out of my own pocket. So it takes time to save this money and buy these parts and do this stuff the right way. Because the last thing you want to do is spend a lot of money and you end up losing everything. You know, that's not a good feeling to have. That's not a good position to be in. Take your time. BMW kings and queens. Stop making the community look bad, man. So follow these 10 steps that can make you become a better BMW owner, have a more powerful and reliable car, and less headaches. You know, like just follow these 10 steps, man. You know, if you don't do anything else with your BMW, follow these 10 steps. I guarantee you it'll save you a lot of headache. That I can promise you. Thank you very much. You know, I might start doing little episodes like this, you know, that help a lot of the people in the community out, because I get a lot of inboxes on my Instagram and stuff like that with people that have these same questions and what should they do and this and that. And your tuner isn't going to help you. 9 times out of 10, they aren't going to respond until you're ready to spend some money. And then, you know, you ask your homeboy, he just as unknowledgeable as you are. Not saying that you guys don't know anything, but obviously, you know, I ask questions all the time. If you asking a question, it's because you want to learn. Simple as that. There's nothing wrong with learning. Don't be ashamed to ask a question. Don't be ashamed to learn. You know, knowledge is power, horsepower. Like, share, subscribe, and Auto Lust out.